Alright, so it's pouring rain. It's March 1st. I'm using the Patagonia Nano puff jacket. They came out with a micro puff jacket. I'm going to show you the rain. Alright, can you see the rain? Yeah. Alright, so I'm completely soaked. Wearing a Capeline shirt. Got on some Patagonia. These are convertible pants for Patagonia. I'm not sure if you can see them. I mean, this is the Primaloft Gold Nano Puff jacket. Here's the Z-Packs beanie. Alright, so anyway, it's soaking wet, alright? It was cold. It's March 1st in San Francisco. I just walked. If you're familiar with Marin, I just walked from the bus stop at McDonald's to the top of the Dipsy Steps where I live. It's pretty far, 1 hour in the rain. But I stayed warm. This is the idea, is that, you know, the Nano Puff, it stays warm when wet. It's only got like a centimeter of Primaloft Gold in it. Now people think that it isn't warm because of the quilting. That actually keeps the Primaloft Gold in place. And the Primaloft Gold that's in here is extremely thin. It's a minimal amount of Primaloft Gold, and they actually came out with an ultra lightweight, ultra compressible version of this jacket called the Micro Puff. And I am giving serious consideration to purchasing it. The Micro Puff is in direct competition with the Enlightened Equipment Torrid jacket, which is an Apex jacket, as well as the thermostatic Mountain Hardwear Q-Core jacket. So I'm going to turn it inside out and show you how much moisture got through to the inside. Alright, so this jacket is soaked pretty much inside and out. I recommend getting the large if you're 6 foot tall and relatively in shape. If you've got a 36 or 38 waist, I would try getting the large. It might feel constrictive at first, but it is going to give you more ample coverage and insulation than this extra large. As you can see, I've got a lot of moisture on the ends of the sleeves. That's from the ultra large, the extra large length. I've got a lot of moisture along the shoulders. Now, obviously, heat rises and the hood is locking the moisture, the heat in. All right, so I've got the hood here. You can see the hood is relatively wet. There's a few dry spots. Now, heat keeps things dry. So that's from my own body heat, kind of like causing the rain to turn into fog and dry out the nylon that's on there. Alright, so there's a few ideas here at play. There's a few concepts here. The Primaloft Gold is thin. It's only a centimeter thick. Now, Apex is more like down, but I would say it's the equivalent to like a synthetic 400 filled down. It has a hollow core polyester fiber that collects warmth similar to down. It's 2.5 inches thick to 5 inches thick. But because it's so thick, it's difficult to wash. It's difficult to get the biohazard out of Apex. So for instance, if you were on the road in Mexico, Montezuma's Revenge would get into that Apex and it would be difficult to wash it out. Whereas with the Primaloft Gold is only a centimeter thick, so it's pretty easy to scrub. Also, Apex suffers from compression and wear and tear in the dryer, etc., much more than Primaloft Gold. So Primaloft Gold is a tougher polymer. It's a more durable polymer, and it collects body heat with a smaller area than Apex. So Apex has more loft, but it's more susceptible to wear and tear from compression, etc. So it's basically it's a more delicate. Apex is a more delicate, less durable polyester than Primaloft Gold. And as far as the Q-Core that's offered by the thermostatic from Mountain Hardwear, the Q-Core gains an extreme amount of weight when wet. It's basically a sponge. It absorbs water, and it also suffers from compression more than Primaloft Gold. Alright, so, you know, this Primaloft Gold material is very interesting because it's used minimalistically. It's only a centimeter thick, but it's very tough and it's easy to wash, okay? And as far as it being a synthetic, it's important to remember that plastic is stone. So a stone has electrons on 4 sides. Plastic is stone. Plastic is silica is stone. Silicone is when you take 2 of those electrons away and link the stone end by end. So the molecules are only linked in one direction, like a chain, and they become plastic. They become stretchy. So nylon and Primaloft gold are both made out of stone, but it's processed, manipulated stone that's turned into plastic. So the whole entire concept that, plastic is worthless and plastic is stupid and plastic is pollution, that's not necessarily true. It's just that, plastic is created from a natural substance. It just doesn't have any natural antimicrobiotic like wool or cotton. So, you need to be able to wash it. Now, Primaloft gold is a lot thinner than other polyester insulation, so it is a lot easier to wash. And you can basically see that it did a reasonable job of keeping me warm and dry. This area is still dry, okay? That's dry right there. Here's another section that's dry. Okay, some of it's wet. This is wet, okay? On the inside, but it stayed warm. Now, if you were to sit on a log in the rain, you wouldn't stay warm. But if you move around a little, if you collect firewood, if you're cooking, or if you're just walking, your motion will create body heat. That centimeter thick Primaloft gold will capture your body heat and keep you warm while you're moving. It doesn't have a lot of loft, so you're really not able to sit still. But while you're moving around, you're generating body heat. The Primaloft gold is capturing that body heat and keeping you warm. Okay, it's much like a wetsuit, but a wetsuit is made out of rubber. This is not made out of rubber, it's made out of plastic. Okay, but plastic is not necessarily a bad thing. It is what it is, So yeah, the Patagonia puff, this is but they've got the micro puff, and this is let's see here. The Nano puff. This is the Nano puff, but they came out with the micro puff. So yeah, the Nano puff, it just has a thicker, denier nylon on it. It's less of a shell material. They use a little bit of extra nylon. It's not as compressible as the micro puff. But I recommend getting it in large rather than extra large. I am seriously considering getting the micro puff. This one is $140 from Costco, and the micro puff is like $275 without a hood from REI, so there's a huge price difference. But I am really, really taking a hard look at it. I'm basically thinking about getting the Ghost Whisperer jacket from Mountain Hardwear, which is a down jacket, or the micro puff. So there it is.